What's up, everybody? We're here at the NRW. We got something a little bit different for you. Got an anime review today. It's me, your boy, Holy Marcellus from KPRM Gaming. I got Dallas Sec in the house here.
What's up?
And also, always having a tag along, Patrick Michael Strange. So, but we got something a little bit interesting for you, buddy.
All right.
I know anime's not really your type of thing, but this fool here talked to me about anime on Netflix, and I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then I ran across it, and since I work from home, decided to check it out. And I feel, this anime probably needs a proper review.
Okay.
So
we'll check out the trailer, and then you'll let us know what you think.
Yes.
Let's
do
it.
So this anime is called High Score Girl, and you can find it on Netflix. So...
Not scores, not high scores.
Not scores, just high score.
Damn it, man! He let me down. I thought this was like going to be on Howard Stern in there. All right, let's do it.
Just translate that to course.
Pretty sweet. Okay.
So that teaser says nothing about what the anime is.
All right, I'll let y'all review because I haven't watched it yet, so I'm gonna go.
So what this anime is about is it's about this kid, and it kind of goes through middle school to high school area. This boy, what's his name?
I think his last name is Yaguchi.
Yeah, Yaguchi. It's about a boy, last name Yaguchi, who's a hardcore gamer. This takes place it takes place in the early 1990s, so PC Engine, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, those things are out.
Actually, it starts 80s, late 80s to the early 90s.
Yeah. So he's a hardcore gamer living in Japan, who loves Street Fighter 2. He plays against this girl named Akira at a Street Fighter arcade, who demolishes his ass with Zangief, which is a very high technical character. And it kind of turns into this comedic love story anime between kids, and as they grow up, it eventually turns into a love triangle thing with the blonde haired girl that you saw. And it's just 12 episodes, and it just kind of lands on a cliffhanger of, where do these gaming people go and who's going to hook up with what?
Well, at least with this season, because Netflix only dropped, I think, 13 episodes.
Yeah.
So, all in all, it was a really fun series, and I look forward to the the second season because this thing brings back so many memories. The unfortunate side to it is like me growing up, I didn't get to be in the whole arcade scene as much. I did play some local arcades, but I didn't have friends that kind of went out. They went out and played in their arcade, like their favorite arcade location.
Yeah.
But this one really, if you've seen it in the trailer, it's very authentic to the games that were around in that time. And the creators of the anime, they went to all the game companies from that time, and then licensed out all those games that you've seen in the trailer, and there are many more.
And
won't
and
get too
that's
much into it, but
yeah,
yeah,
I was really impressed. Like I saw Arc System Works name in there, and I'm like, ooh, they paid a pretty penny for that.
Yeah, I mean, for the people who are like in the Street Fighter, like the competition of the fighting games, you'll see like there's a lot of high level gameplay in the series, and there's like references and stuff. So this is a definite check if you're very nostalgic, within this age group, and you grew up playing these games. It's an amazing. I find it was a really well done anime for that kind. It borders on the slice of life genre, so there's no real action except for when it comes into regards of the games. It's really fun.
The anime, the actual animation itself, I'm a little indifferent of because it is kind of this 3D/2D animation. It is better than Berserk, which Berserk's animation is fucking garbage. That is terrible 3D animation. This is kind of a mix of both. It's not terrible, but it's not perfected, but it's decent to watch. It's good 3D animation. I'll give it that. It's good 3D animation. And thank God it's not worse. Because I've seen a lot of animes that do the 3D animated. Yeah. Comes out really bad.
Well, the thing is that at least the focus of it wasn't so much on the action. It was just the story, and that's one of the reasons. For some reason, in the animes lately, they've been switching over to CG, and it's not translating well. Yeah, it kind of takes away from the very classic and the very fluid design of watching a 2D animation versus something 3D. It's very rigid.
Now, I'll have to say something about the characters. Like the main character, I couldn't really stand it. I'll be honest. Because he's loud, he's very self-centered and self-focused. And then later on in the season, he does get a little bit better and changes, but he's still a very loud character. And I just kind of found him very annoying until probably the last 10 episodes. And even then, it's still, like, he got better at some point, and then the blonde-haired girl came in and started being better with him in games. It just went back to his old way, and I found that like a little, I just didn't like that. I guess didn't like that from him. Like he was on a path of growing, and then he just reverted back to his old ways.
Well, you got to kind of take it from that perspective. His personality, again, trying not to get too deep into it. It's a very simple story for the most part, because the idea of it, again, was to bring that nostalgia, that feeling of playing games at that time. But the thing is with him, he was very competitive. Yeah. And that's the reason why he's so caught into it. So that's the one thing you'll learn about him.
And I'll say that competitive scene is really captured well, especially like the multiple quarters, because I've been there in the arcades where people have the line of quarters. And
that's how I played all the time back in the day, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You slap a quarter on the arcade. I got next.
And next, you'll have those gamers that'll rage out on it, and they capture that very well.
It's so funny.
It's like some of those things is like kind of shocking. Like, yeah, I think
a lot of it was. I think a lot of it too, and being it takes place in Japan. It's also a lot of cultural aspects of it because I have not seen or heard of many fights break out like that, but you'll see some funny scenes in the series where things like that go crazy. But again, it's nothing. The anime doesn't have any like super secrets. It's just a slice of life story, and it just brings back those memories.
The other thing is the main love interest, Akira, who's the blonde-haired, long-haired chick. There is a big difference between her and the main guy, where the main guy is kind of like a commoner. She's being raised up in the high life society to be a princess, and in a very rich family.
It's a very traditional Japanese family. She's part of like a business
in the business, and she's like in that high life society. Yeah. The thing about her character is she does not speak one word at all in the entire anime. Not a single word. She expresses everything through emotions or through actions that she does in the video games.
She's violent.
Very violent until later on when like the feelings between him and her kind of melding there. And I'm just like, nobody can just go throughout middle school, high school without ever saying a word to anybody, and yet she's still very popular. But she's not. Well, I can't really say she's mute because nobody really said that she was.
No, I'm just saying unless she was. I'm not saying she was. But
well, no, she can't be mute because she has perfect grades for everything, including English.
That's true.
But she doesn't say a single word in the entire anime, and it's just kind of like it's cute at first. But I'm like, say something. Say like. There's one episode, I think it's episode 3 or 4, where she starts crying, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna speak! And it never happens, and you're just like... And then you get introduced into the triangle girl, which is the blonde-haired girl, which she first develops like this little crush with the kid. It's like I just want to watch from the sidelines girl. And then she starts developing more feelings and things like, if I am able to compete with him head on, maybe he'll look at me, but she ends up becoming better than him and a little bit more like, I don't know, say...
She's more natural at gameplay.
She has a natural ability to do great in gaming, but I think that when she mastered her skills, she got like a little too cocky, and I didn't like that character about her. And she kind of realized what she was doing, which I like that. But I don't like how the season ended.
It's all part of competition, and that's what it was portraying for the most part. And when you're growing up like that, especially and you spend most of your time playing those games, it's all about you have that competitive edge, and that's what they were portraying. So there's a lot more to it. We don't want to go too deep anymore because, I mean, like I said, very simple story, very nostalgic, really good if you're into that. It might not be for everybody, but as far as I've seen some reviews, a lot of people have given it really good praise for that storytelling. But yeah, I highly suggest you guys check that out if you're into that kind of thing. If not, just give it a chance. Maybe give it an episode or so, see how you feel. But
I'd say at least 5 episodes.
Yeah,
you pretty much give the gist by about 5, episode 5 or 6. So it's probably the break-off point. I think, all in all, I think it's okay. I think it's an alright anime so far. I think if they release the second season, I'll stick with it to see where this goes. But there are parts where I was engaged, other parts where I had to convince myself, do I want to keep watching this? Because this is not really going anywhere. I do commend them on getting all the video game companies and all the sprite work and the melding of both animation styles with the pixel art together. That is amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing shout out to all old video game systems, PC Engine, the Famicom, Super Famicom. I think that's amazing. I think it's great. But all in all, I think it's okay so far.
Yeah. I highly enjoyed it. It's my favorite. It was, I wouldn't say my favorite, but it was a nice nod to the gaming scene, especially the fighting scene.
Yeah.
And well, arcade scene in general.
Yeah.
But there's a high focus on fighting games. But it was really good to watch. I enjoyed it. So
yeah.
What's your take on it?
Yeah, that's our review for High Score Girl. You can find it on Netflix right now. All 13 episodes are on there. So check it out if you're interested. And let us know what you think in the comments below. And we'll see you next time.
Later.
Always the way